Hello, 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 everyone. Hello. It is May 14th, and I was a bad boy today, and I bought more books. So I'm officially putting myself on a book ban for hopefully, if I can behave, the rest of the year. But I figured I bought all these books. I should talk about all these books. Because why not? I haven't made a book video in a little bit. So we're here to talk about books. And I will say before we begin, I picked up a very bad habit recently of going to the used bookstore and picking up books exclusively based on the vibe. Depression shopping, am I right, gamers? But, so we'll just start. I got two stacks here, mass markets and bigger books. We'll start with the mass markets right here. And we have The Lawless West, which is a 3 short story collection from Louis L'Amour, Zane Grey, and Max Brand. I've never heard of Max Brand, and you already know I have some opinions about Zane Grey, but I've heard a lot of good about Louis L'Amour, and I'm in my Western phase right now, so I had to pick this bad boy up, try it out, see if these are any good. We'll see. Only time will tell. Only time will tell. Then we have a collection of Robert Frost poems. If you have noticed, I almost exclusively read fiction. So I thought to myself, I want to try some poetry. I also have a nonfiction book somewhere in here too, because I read nonfiction once in a while, but I want to read more nonfiction. I want to read not just to escape, but to make my brain wrinklier. So I got Robert Frost, because why not? He's Robert Frost. We all love Robert Frost, I hope. Then we have Rattlesnake Wells, Wyoming by William W. Johnstone with J.A. Johnstone. Again, I'm in my Western phase right now. This was one of the books I picked up purely on vibe. I saw this, I thought, this looks like it's either going to be like a spaghetti Western on a page, or it's going to be actually good. So I picked it up. The bet, the gamble. We'll see. Another pure vibe book. We got Dead Man Rising by Lilith St. Crow. This is some weird book about a necromancer or something. Listen, I like urban fantasy. I'm a sucker for a good urban fantasy once in a while. And I am just a sucker, so I picked it up. We got The Edge of Sleep by David Weiss. Wiltz? David Wiltz, I apologize. Again, the trend that I warned you about. A vibes book. I just wanted a thriller. I didn't have many thrillers left. I'm mostly sitting on a lot of fantasy right now, so I picked this up. I said, oh, this seems interesting, I guess. We'll try it. Then we have A Murder Past Due, A Cat in the Stacks mystery. I am such a stupid little sucker for these cozy mysteries with talking cats or magic or any of this stupid stuff. I love this stuff. I eat this stuff up. I know I shouldn't, because this is like literal sludge in book form, but I love it. I eat it up. It's just fun. It's so fun. It's so low stakes. It's so low brain power, but I love it. Love it. And I love it so much that I got a second one. 4 charming spells. Some kitchen witch stuff going on. Again, it's a vice. What can I say? Speaking of a vice, we got Shape Changers by Jennifer Robertson. I wouldn't call this one a book that was purely on vibes. This was more a book I picked up because I saw that there was like 30 of them in the used bookstore. Not this one specifically, but books in this series by this author, this Chronicles of Chesalee or whatever. And I was like, yeah, you know what? I'm not reading enough long-form fantasy right now, so let's get another long-form fantasy in here. This seems like Animorphs, but fantasy, and hopefully it's just as good as Animorphs, because I love Animorphs. Then we have something that I got purely as a joke, and I'm really hoping it lives up to the hilarity of the cover. It is The Ruins of Dantooine, a Star Wars Galaxy book that I believe is a tie-in to the horribly received anyway Star Wars MMO that came out before Knights of the Old Republic MMO, because look at it, the cover is literally just a screenshot from a 2000s MMO. And I saw this cover and I thought, holy shit, that is really funny looking. I'm buying it purely for the funny. um, I've never played this game. I've never even seen gameplay of this game. But just look at this. A book that is a tie-in to an MMO, a failed MMO, using just actual gameplay as the cover. It's very funny to me. Very funny to me. We have Appaloosa by Robert B. Parker. Again, I'm in my Western phase. I've heard good things about this. This is one of those Westerns they recommend you to read when you're getting into Westerns. So I got a free book reward from Thrift Books. Scooped this up. And then again, I'm a glutton for punishment, as we all know. We got The Rune Lords by David Farland. Another long-ass fantasy series that I'm not going to have time to read, but the only reason I bought it is that right there, Tor Fantasy. If I see a nice-looking book from Tor Fantasy, I usually pick it up because Tor Fantasy publishes a lot of things I like. They published the Wheel of Time set I'm reading right now, and they also published the next two books I got, which are the next two, one of these, my Mistborn, thank you, my brain immediately stopped working. The next two Mistborn books, I liked the first one so much, I had to go out and buy the other two, which I did mention, but they are here. And again, like I said, published by Tor Fantasy. I'm a sucker for Tor Fantasy. It's like the only publisher's logo I look out for, because I'm a sucker for fantasy, and I love reading things that I will probably not finish before I die. Okay, that's all the small books. We're on to the bigger books. Here we go. Right off the bat, we have Interior Chinatown by Charles Yu. Correct, Charles Yu. I don't even remember what got this book on my radar, but it seems interesting. It seems, I mean, obviously it was interesting enough to get turned into a Hulu show, apparently, am I right? So, why not? Give it a try. Give it a try. Then we have Night Bitch by Rachel Yoder. I just love the title, but this book is also another book that I'm pretty sure I saw on like r/recommend me a book or something like that, and I thought that looks cool. I'll buy that one day, and this was literally today was the day I bought it. This was one of the books I bought today that made me go on a book ban. Same with Interior Chinatown. And then the last book I bought today that put me on a book ban was Welcome to the Hunam Dong Bookshop. This just seems cozy. This seems adorable. This seems like my vibe. I've always said if I had infinite money, I would love to own my own used bookstore that also served coffee. I doubt she serves coffee in this, but yeah, I can live out my intrepid fantasy via a book. And then we have another we've got the next two Poppy Wars books. As you know, I really liked Poppy Wars. I read all like 500 pages of that in a single day. It grabbed me by the throat and would not let go, so of course I immediately had to buy the other two. So I will read them hopefully next year. We'll see. We'll see what happens. Speaking of things I really want to read, I've wanted to read for a long time, is This Is How You Lose the Time War. Again, this is another one of those books I found on r/recommend me a book or something like that. And it just seemed so cool, so interesting. It was way shorter than I thought it was going to be, which also kind of made me want to buy it. So I did buy it. And hey, we're back to another book I bought purely on the vibes. We've got Midshipman Bolitho. I read Mr. Midshipman Easy by Captain Frederick Marriott last year or the year before. Only because I learned about the man through Babel, which is a funny thing to do considering they like specifically talk about how racist he is in Babel, which yes, that book was really racist, but it made me curious just how racist was it, and I read it, and besides all the racism, I learned I really like nautical fiction too, because it's just a Westerner on a boat, which is, so I bought another one, and hopefully this one is less racist. Then we have the nonfiction book I promised you earlier. We have Tyrannosaurus Sue. I love dinosaurs. I've always loved dinosaurs. When I was a child, I said I was going to be an archaeologist, and I never did that. I'm sitting here talking to you about books like a freaking loser because I can't commit, but I always told myself I wanted to be an archaeologist, so I will live through this. Dinosaur Bones, cool. Then we have the book that started my buying books purely on vibe rigmarole. What is this? Oh, there's like a bean in here. What the? There's like a sunflower seed in here. Anyway, In Pursuit of the Green Lion. I don't know what this is. Literally at all. This could be a mystery. This could be contemporary fiction. This could be literally like 400 pages of smut, and I would have no idea. I looked at the cover. I scooped it up. I like skimmed the back, if that. I wish I'd known that there was a sunflower seed in there, or whatever this is, because that's kind of yucky. But, I'll figure that out on my own time. Girl Waits with Gun is next up. Honestly, this was another one that I just saw the cover, and I was like, oh, she looks like a flapper, or whatever those things are called. I don't know. Look at the cover. The cover's so nice. Pure vibes. Pure vibes. Apparently it's based on real things, question mark? I don't know. Why would I know? Then we have A Long Way to a Small Angry Planet. This just seemed... This was vibes, and then I did a little more research on the author on accident, and I realized that this will probably actually be very cozy. Very nice. It claims it was from a free library, so it would be free, but I paid money for this. Don't let anybody tell you I didn't. Then the last book we have here, a book that I'm going to say I have a funny feeling I'm going to regret buying. I have a funny feeling I'm not going to enjoy this book, and it is Behind the Throne by K.B. Waggers. And you want to know why I think I'm going to regret buying this book? The description on the back. Behind Throne begins an action-packed new series with a heroine as rebellious as Han Solo, as savvy as Leia, and as skilled as Rey. There's no new ideas here. This is Star Wars fanfiction. And I have actual Star Wars fanfiction for real Star Wars. So I don't know. I'm coming into this book when I get to it with extremely low expectations. I legitimately don't even know why I bought this one. We'll call it hope. We'll call it the indomitable human spirit of hoping for the best outcome. We'll see. So yeah, that was a lot of books. That was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 25 new books in 3 months. So that's a lot of books a month. Even though, funny enough, I don't think I bought any of these in April, actually. These all came in March and May. But that's fine. That's whatever. What are you reading? I hope it's something good. I'd love to hear about it, because obviously my TBR can't get any smaller. I have to constantly make it bigger. So please, if you have some recommendations, please give them to me. Please just tell me what you're reading. I'd love to hear about it. I'd love to have a little chat about what you're reading. I'm so lonely. Please talk to me about books. I'm so lonely.